So as of right now, the Ottawa Senators went through trade deadline the day, uh, doing nothing. Well, they did claim Boris Kachuk off waivers, so they did do that. They got a 6'2", 205-pound winger who's played 155 career games. He was a 44th overall pick in 2016 by Tampa. I don't know what he does.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, like I said to you before the show, I had to look him up. So, it's not much to be said about him, but, at least his name sounds like Kachuk, and it'll be confusing for people.
Well, I was going to say, we can't go from Kachuk to Kachuk.
It's tough. It's tough. But
I watched him. I watched him back when he was playing for Sault Ste. Marie. I actually watched him in a playoff series when my son was playing for for Kitchener. He's a really good junior player. I will say that, talented. But I made the joke before we came on the show. Every single guy in the NHL was really good at the level they were before. That's why they're in the NHL. Yeah, there is some talent there, though. I will say this to Sens fans: he's a talented guy. For whatever reason, it hasn't worked in Chicago.
Okay, just so we're clear, Yorkie, we brought in the Senators brought in the guy from Chicago who was the Hobie Baker winner, Adam. Now I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Right? Again, great goal scorer in college. Didn't do anything in the NHL, if you will. Same with there's been a couple of times with OHL scoring champions. Just like we've seen it all along, guys who are great in the O or great in junior can't make the adjustment to the NHL level.
But here's Ottawa's really, like, if you look at their minor league team right now, there's not a lot of forwards that you'll say this guy is got a chance to be a really good offensive player. So throw this guy, like, maybe you give him some games in Ottawa. Obviously, he's going to play in all the right way, but it just kind of brings up your talent level of that next tier of guys. Because you got to, if you look at the guys they're calling up, whatever. And at the end of the day, what are you going to do right now? Like, there's obviously no market for Kubalik, and you're not going to give him away for whatever you're going to get, a 7th rounder. That's not going to do you good. And see how he finishes off to the right. There obviously wasn't any market for Eric Brandstrom. Otherwise, you would have traded him. And really, when you really think about it, which playoff team, and watch somebody trade for Brandstrom right now, make me eat my words. What team that is looking to bring in depth right now is going to say, you know what? Eric Brandstrom's going to help put us over the top here, and he's going to be a really good complementary piece. Like, you look at what Toronto just did. What did they bring in? They brought in a 6'5" defenseman. Tampa brought in Dumba, who's got experience. He used to play with some jam. Like, there obviously was zero market for Eric Brandstrom. Otherwise, they would have traded him. It's just, it is what it is. Staios is basically a janitor right now. He's cleaning up aisle 5. That's what he's doing. He's cleaning up the mess. Like, what do you want him to do? Like, it's a mess.
Yeah. I'd rather see them do nothing at all than panic and make rash decisions too, right? That's the downside of it. So, you touched on the 2 players that I possibly thought could have gone somewhere, and obviously Kubalik, there's just no market for. He hasn't done enough to put himself into that conversation this year. And Brandstrom just is so miscast that people don't know what he is, right? Like, you have no clue what kind of defenseman he is. And he's not going to a contending team to play 24 minutes because that's not his body of work. People know him as a certain way now. He's typecast a little bit. So, clean up aisle 7 or whatever you said, and then that's all he's doing right now. So,
how about
nothing wrong with not doing anything. Right?
How about Kubalik? We pumped his tires yesterday. He goes out first couple of minutes of the game, pots a goal. Just goes to show you, though, like, he's not gonna score unless he's on the power play. Hey, surprise! You get rid of Tarasenko, power play spot opens up. Kubalik scores. That's what he does. If I was a team, I would have called on Kubalik for just in case you get injuries in the playoffs, because the guy can score, can do that. Just he hasn't had any opportunity with the way we talked about it yesterday. Ottawa's just too deep with power play guys, so it's been a terrible situation for him.
Yeah. There was zero fit from the beginning for him.
Zero fit.
And let's not forget, Staios has said a few times now The trade deadline was just one area where he could look to improve the team. But you really got the sense it was going to be in the summer, maybe before the draft, when they've got more chance to sit around and I guess to figure out what it is they need to try and do with this club. That's what I'm thinking. I always thought the summer was going to be a bigger deal than it was trade deadline.
Yeah. You've said that from the get-go, haven't you?
It just seems that, like, if you listen to him talk, he's always said he was going to be patient. So doing it at the deadline is not necessarily about patience. Doing it afterwards, when you've made your coaching change and you've got that sorted out, and he's told you what kind of players he wants to put in this roster, and you start to build that way.
Yeah. Well, this is what they can really do for the rest of the year. Really pump up the guys you want to move at the draft.
Yeah.
Brandstrom, guess what? You're on the power play full time now, and you're going to play 20 pool. It's a perfect storm now with Shabbat injured. I'll guarantee you, put a guarantee on this right now. Brandstrom's going to play amazing the rest of the season. He's going to.
You're calling it?
I'm calling it right now. He's playing 20 minutes a night. He's going to start getting some power play time, just like last year when everybody got excited about him. This is what he's going to have opportunity. He's going to, and teams are going to take Ottawa lightly because they're out of the playoffs. Ottawa's going to play really well. Brandstrom's going to have a great finish, and he's going to be much easier to trade at the draft. You'll get something for him now instead of right now. You would have to give him away for nothing.
Yeah. True. And you're. I mean, when anybody gets elevated minutes, they're going to look good comparatively to where he's been playing now. So, it's an important finish here for these guys. Like, they're being evaluated much closer and much harder than they have been in the past, I would say. So some guys really need to assert themselves for the rest of the year if they want to be part of the core going forward.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting for a guy like Kastelic, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Really important for him how he plays the rest of the year.
Boy, did he take a hard hit yesterday.
Oh, that was nasty, eh?
Yeah, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but
have either one of you ever run into the post like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.